welcome to the first episode of Mrs. O Flamingo's podcast. I'm Haleigh from Franki's Podcast Network, and we're here with Mrs. O. Hi, Mrs. O.
Hi, everyone.
How you do? Okay, so tell us, why are we Mrs. O Flamingo?
Do you want a shorter version of the long story or the long story? It's long.
I don't know, friends and neighbors. What do we want? Do we want shorter? We're short ladies, so maybe and people have short attention spans.
Flamingo started, I don't know how many years back, in kindergarten.
Wait.
Yeah.
When you were in kindergarten?
Not when I was in kindergarten, not that far back. That's a long time.
Okay.
I am a para, and so I was working at the Eureka school system.
You're a paranormal? You're a ghost?
I am a paraprofessional.
Oh, no, she's not a ghost. She's here.
So I give aid to students that need a little extra help. So anyway.
Sometimes we all need a little bit of extra help in this world. I mean, that happens.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
So the kindergarten teacher must have gave me, I think it started with a flamingo pen. She thought it was funny because I like the beach.
Okay. Yes, you do. If anyone, we can have a tour of the house later. Oh my God. Mrs. O Flamingo's tour of the house, HGTV. Hello, we will do that. So yes.
No, not now. Because
beach theme everywhere in the house. For your information, we will show more video evidence later.
Well, anyway, from there, it escalated to making a clothespin flamingo and flamingo pins or flamingo pictures the kids started drawing me.
I don't know if anyone else can see here, but she does have little sand dollar earrings on right now to prove that she is a beach-going person. And also she's wearing some kind of blue that's got a ship. And we've got, what does it say on the back? Let me see this.
I don't know. It's from Florida.
Fort Myers Beach, Florida. There we go.
Fort Myers.
She's sporting Florida in South Dakota in negative 20-degree weather with sandals on right now as we speak, y'all. Like, she just insists on the beach coming to her.
Okay. So it's morphed since then. Every year it got to be something else. Somebody give me a flamingo something, a little plaque or a little something to put in my window.
I got her a flamingo water bottle that says,
oh, yes.
What does it say? For flock's sake.
Yeah, for flock's sake, drink your water.
Drink your water.
I love that thing.
I know you do. I see you.
It reminds me to drink.
I'm gonna drink
water.
This fizzy
that
water.
Is, we're talking about water. Anyway, it's healthy and good for you. From there, it's morphed into statues of flamingos. Funny.
She does have a flamingo statue over there drinking a bottle of wine. We will give you a tour later.
A whole dining room set of flamingo placemats, flamingo mats,
flamingo pajamas. We've got some flamingo slippers.
Oh, and my collection of flamingo aprons.
Aprons. She's got many flamingo aprons to cook with and bake with.
So anyway, it's just kind of morphed from there.
And we have, you're missing the biggest flamingo you have.
Oh, last year we started a business. Yeah.
Never mind. Like, it's just the tiny little thing of, we
just
have
a business.
Whole business. It's a trailer that we sell ice cream treats out of, Mrs. O Flamingo.
It's called Frosty Flamingo.
Frosty Flamingo, and it's got a giant flamingo on it. How could you have missed that giant flamingo?
Well,
in the flamingo evolution.
It's in the season right now where it's in hibernation, and it won't come out till spring. And spring isn't here yet, so.
No, because we live in the Dakota lands, and spring is one of those elusive things. You never know when it's going to show up.
And of course, if you haven't already noticed that we've got pink microphones.
Flamingo pink. Cheers, and they're so cute.
Smaller than I thought they would be. Yes.
So, but this is going to be a vlog, day in the life, Mrs. O Flamingo. It's a Friday night in small town South Dakota, Mrs. O Flamingo, and it is negative. I don't know what outside. It's miserable.
Actually, it went above 0 today. So I think it got to about 16 above, but still felt like about 7 degrees. But it's supposed to be nice this weekend and all next week.
Let me ask you this question, Mrs. O Flamingo. If you love the beach so much, why do you live in the middle of the country where there aren't any?
That's a very good question. I've been asking myself that for years.
Mrs. O Flamingo, might I suggest that we move to Australia and become surfers?
Why do I want to go there, eh?
Eh? Are we Canadian, eh?
Well, we're that far north.
Yeah, we are. No, we're not so very, eh?
We are.
I guess we're not going to be on the beach anytime soon, eh? Because it's just frosty flamingo cold up in this place, yo.
Australia's too far down south. I don't need to go that far.
Is okay.
It's down under, you know. You know what down under.
I do know it's down. I know the song. They come from a land down under. And Vegemite sandwiches.
I don't like Vegemite sandwiches. I'm sure I won't like Vegemite sandwiches.
Have you tried Vegemite sandwiches?
Don't you know what they're made out of? I think it's fat. I'm kidding. I'm not kidding.
We're going to have to ask Siri what Vegemite is made out of. We're going to have a video and we're going to, you know what? We're going to get some Vegemite and you're going to try Vegemite. And I can't wait to see Mrs. O Flamingo's face when she tries
and they
Vegemite.
Spread it on bread. Ugh. I'd rather eat an ice cream cone.
Okay, where in the world would you like to go, Mrs. O Flamingo? Are you?
I already been to Fort Myers. I like it down there. It's nice and warm.
We like Florida, except that there is a hurricane situation that happens there.
Right. That is true.
If we're going to escape the wintertime, then, Mrs. O Flamingo, what is your preference for wintertime escapes? If you could live anywhere during the winter so that you don't have to freeze into a Mrs. O-sicle.
I don't know. Where would it be nice and warm consistently? I mean, I don't really want to go to Mexico. I'd like to visit Mexico, but not.
You don't want to live there?
No, I don't think so.
How about Italy?
I wouldn't mind visiting Arizona only for the fact that I've never been there. Italy? Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? I thought you were talking like southern part of North America. I'm not talking overseas. I thought we were talking like North America.
Get global. Mrs. O Flamingo, get global. You can take flamingos everywhere in the whole wide world.
Exactly.
Just think of you just like running around to different places. You know how people put
I don't think I could handle flying in an airplane for 8 hours or more.
Well, some of it's like 20 hours.
Some of us would get TB really fast.
Oh, goodness gracious. Here we go. We're going to be medical Mrs. O Flamingo. It's a thing. O Flamingo.
It's a thing.
Dr. O Flamingo is in the house, y'all.
I'm not talking about tuberculosis. It's not tuberculosis. It's tired butt.
I didn't know this was a technical term in the medical industry.
Your grandma used to use it all the time. TB.
You get TB. You get tired butt from sitting too much. Okay. Yeah. Well, that makes sense.
You do. I do.
I know you do. Mrs. O Flamingo is always running around doing flamingo things. Everybody knows.
So I don't sit.
I know you don't sit.
Then I don't get TB.
That's why I had to make her start a podcast, y'all, because otherwise she would never sit down. This is the only way I can get her to sit. And see, look at me. Success already because I've gotten Mrs. O Flamingo to sit for a podcast. You know what? I can die a happy human now.
Okay. All right.
Well, hey, thanks everybody for joining us on this first little podcast episode of Mrs. O Flamingo's podcast.
The start of hopefully many, right?
It will be many.
Yes.
We're gonna guess what? Next up is going to be tours of Mrs. O Flamingo's house, so we can prove to you that she is in love with the beach. Until next time, y'all.
Surf's up.